Welcome to a presentation of my Conlang Etam. Etam has a pretty simple phonological inventory with 10 consonants: ma, na, ba, da, ta, ga, sha, ha, ra, la, where sa and tsa shift to sha and cha before front high vowels and at the end of words. There are 8 vowels: a, o, e, u, I, ü. But this system used to be much larger, and I was going to make a video at this stage of the language, but here we are. Then the diphthongs in the old language evolved to merge with the mid-vowels. The vowels umlauted, that being that back vowels got pushed forward when in a syllable preceding an E. Then the aspirated stops pataka lenited to fatsacha, where from fa and cha further lenited into ha. Then za became sa at the beginning of words and ra everywhere else. And finally the voice stops devoiced. Stress in Etam is placed on the final syllable of a word if that syllable ends in a consonant. If it doesn't, it goes on the penultimate syllable, but you can insert an unpronounced H to force the stress to the final syllable. Grammar is fusional, and the head directionality is pretty split. Sometimes it's head zenital and sometimes it's head final, but it always marks the dependence in clauses. It's notable for having some weird possession, using ablaut, and making use of converbs to link sentences together. So let's talk about cases. In the old system there were only 4 cases, but that has drastically changed. Old postpositions got suffixed onto nouns in the genitive case to form a bunch of locative cases. But there are also possessive cases. Yes, plural. So instead of using the genitive, many people began using relative clauses, which were the only part of the language that came after the noun they modified. You'd say something like Papo ugro kisa, the father, the shaman has. And this became grammaticalized into a kind of genitive case, which came after the noun they modified. And because new prepositions were made from possessive constructions, they became prepositions instead of postpositions like you'd expect for a mostly head final language. But multiple different verbs were used in these relative clauses. So from the verb kisa, to have, you get the inalienable for relationships of the family and body parts. You get alienable possession, which is like stuff you own, like this is my mug. Temporary possession for stuff you've found, like you're getting rid of it soon, like a stick in the park. Creative possession is stuff you made, like this is my video, I made it. And associative possession for usually choices, but it's just very vague possession and a catch-all for it doesn't fit in the other categories. If you use the accusative case in the relative clause, you will get a possessum that is marked in a case, which is also kind of a preposition locative thing. It's a very unique, like in the sentence Ukro Papikesh, the shaman who has a father. Nouns and adjectives also have ablaut, where they change the final vowel in their stem depending on whether they're masculine, feminine, or plural. And there are multiple different patterns of this. Moving on to verbs, they inflect for tense, the present, the past, and the future. Aspect, the simple, it's happening when we're talking about it, or the perfect, it's happening before what we're talking about. And mood, like indicative, this is fact, or subjunctive, maybe, or I wish for this, just this isn't true, but it could be. And voice, so I see it and I'm seen by it. Verbs can also be made into adverbs, which are called converbs, and there are multiple types of these. The imperfective, which carries the meaning of while, the perfective carrying meaning of after, and causal is a because or purposive a for. There are many of these. By default, they have the same subject as the finite verb in the sentence, but you can insert a subject in the ablative case. So let me tell you a story about spirits. Anna sirseteri kiutramixudi rishmuichis pipra. So ana hulchus murik ot soikrito. Od matsech od kesh manukosh shush isachuto. Tu grech mutertsech. Gum sorikrish tsa anahin grech mutal kur talku pertsech. Natsek okike motoikitse kiltarima suana sala. And that is that for today. Kumikitakito.